Welcome to the quick setup of SapiVents. When you open the box, you will see the main unit of SapiVents and two accessory boxes, including this user menu. While you have to prepare yourself the resuscitator with the corrugated tubings and the mask. For this part, this is not shipped with SapiVents. For the small accessory box, you will see the AC/DC adapter, which is used to power up the SapiVents main unit. And for the bigger box, you will see two different boxes. One is the tubing accessories for connecting the main unit to the resuscitator, and another small accessory is called the pressure sensor. I will show you how to connect it to the main unit. For the tubing accessories, you can see a number of different components inside, including a narrow silicone tubing, a wider silicone tubing, the female lure connector, the male lure connector, and the T connector. So we can put like this together. Putting these two pieces together and the other two pieces together. When you secure them without losing the connection, you can put the female and the male connector together and with an interlocking process like this. So for one end, we put into the T connector. The key connector shows a smaller diameter and a wider diameter right here. And this is used to connect to the resuscitator. We put the T-joint in this position between the corrugated tubings and the resuscitator. So for the other end, we will put this with the pressure sensor. Look at the pressure sensor in this direction, you can see a hold. So we put the narrow end of the silicone tubing with a little bit force and then connect it together. And for the other end of the wire, you can see a 4-pin connection right here. We can put this connected to the right side of the main unit. So, and this connector as shown is the pressure sensor connection. After all, we can put the resuscitator sitting on top of the unit. So we are ready to power up the unit for ventilation. Now we give it power by connecting the AC/DC adapter. On the same side, we have the DC jack for the DC input. Just plug in and turn on the rocker switch. So for a while you will see the display being lit on. So we have 5 inputs right here. When the green light is on, you can tune any of them. First is the pad position. You can see we can tune the pad position knob to fit the size of the resuscitator to the unit. And we can have 3 inputs to control the SapiVents. The first one is the respiratory rate. You can see the RR is set to 10 and you can adjust it from 10 to 35. And the next is tidal volume. Right now it's set to 400 milliliter. You can tune it up to 525 and to 600 later on, and down to 300 something. So the IE ratio can also be tuned from 1:1 to 1:4. So we keep 1:1 for this setting right here. So after the basic setup of the SapiVents, it's time to give ventilation to the patient. So we have to check the corrugated tubings are connected to the mask, and the mask is put on the patient as shown. So right now we need physicians and clinicians advice to start the ventilation with the correct parameters. By pressing the confirm button, the ventilation will start. After ventilation starts, physicians or clinicians should check the ventilation to the patient from time to time. There is an emergency button right here. When it is an emergency situation to stop the ventilation, clinicians can simply press the button and the ventilator will stop. To restore the last setting, rotate the emergency button and the unit will be back in a few seconds. Pressing the confirm button again in green light and then press again to confirm the status, and the ventilation will restore. There were a couple of situations there are alarm given by the SapiVents. For example, the corrugated tubings got blocked. It will detect overpressure and the alarm will sound. To stop the alarm, you can press the silence button blinking in red. The alarm will keep going on for 2 minutes and the blinking will stop only if the problem is resolved. So right now, the corrugated tubing restored to the normal status and the silence has gone. SapiVents also support the assist control mode. We have the mode button right here. By pressing this button and the blue light turn on, and SapiVents is now working in assist control mode. To work in assist control mode, the respiratory rate should be from 6 to 10 breaths per minute. And you can also tune the trigger sensitivity using this knob. First, you have to press the confirm button to show the green light and tune the trigger sensitivity. And the range is from 2 up to 7. So by adjusting the trigger sensitivity, the unit will detect the voluntary breath intake by the patient and trigger an assisted controlled inhalation. That's how the assist control will work.